So, James, tell me what your favorite aspect of Mario Kart is outside of the racing and the tracks. What makes Mario Kart to you?
Probably the roster of characters each game has. Like, I always like seeing which characters are added, especially just what like completely random choices they make. Like, some of these choices are pretty unhinged, not gonna lie.
I will agree with that. I feel like there's the Mario Kart development team at Nintendo is probably some of the most talented people on this earth, but then there's that one weird guy that makes the character choices.
Yeah.
I mean, each game, I mean, what would you say is like the most just grounded character? I feel like a Mario Kart 64 Super Circuit, that's like the most grounded. But then you go to like Double Dash. I think Double Dash is like pretty. I mean, like that you get some flavor with that. You get some fun little flavor. And then when you go to like Mario Kart DS, you just got some funky little picks there. Shy Guy isn't even selectable unless you do download play. And then Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart Wii has a fun roster, but it gets a little infested with the children. You got like 4 babies, and then what would you say? What would you say is your favorite roster, going down to your least favorite?
I guess 8 is my favorite roster now because it has all the variety. I mean, 8 has a lot of stinkers, but like it's easy to just like not pick those and just stick to your favorites. Wii's is really good. I like Double Dashes, even though it has some like, I don't know, Paratroopa is a weird choice, but Double Dash is pretty good though. I like 7 because it has Honey Queen, which is like the most bizarre choice of all time, but I kind of love it for that. And then I guess DS after that, because Rob is a fun choice as well. Again, very bizarre, but I like that. But like generally, like the less characters there are, the worse of a roster I think it is. Especially when it's like, you know, not a lot of characters and you pick like Honey Queen over Waluigi or like Rob over anyone.
During the 7 to 8 era, they just made some funny little picks without, lacking Waluigi, doing the Honey Queen, which I respect the audacity. I do respect it. 8's base roster is so boring. 8's base roster. Yikes.
Yeah. I should specify, I meant like 8 with the booster course pass factored in because like, the base roster was awful.
Yeah. Even with the DLC and like the extra additions in 8 to I mean, like it became fine. I think overall, without any bias, it was like, even without the booster course pass, it was probably like, okay, it's good. Because like, what does Mario Kart Wii have that it doesn't outside of Funky Kong and like Diddy Kong? I feel like 8's a little better than we give it credit for, but I still would take Mario Kart Wii any day because there's just, I mean, like, you just get that zazz, you know? You just get that zazz with the Kongs and all of that. It pretty much just comes down to the monkeys.
Yeah, honestly, I might have said like Wii was my favorite roster if Funky wasn't being added to 8 because like Funky's just my favorite character in the series.
Yeah, but what I kind of want to discuss here is just the idea of just building the perfect roster for a potential future Mario Kart. We can kind of take some cues from like previous games, but also we could come up with like some new characters that have never been in the series before, potentially discuss, some crossover picks, whatever. So I'm just kind of down to kind of just maybe come up with a number. What do you think is like the perfect number of Mario Kart characters?
I think we're starting to get there with like 8's roster with the booster course pass added. It's like, I think that's a really good size, like maybe a few more, but the problem with 8's roster is like it has so much filler getting it to that number, so it's like that number but without like the 5 babies and 7 Koopalings, I think would be pretty ideal.
There's close to 50 in Mario Kart 8 right now. I think around that era is like a good amount. So, like, who do you think is like base? We need these characters no matter what. I think you got to go with like the Mario Kart 64 roster. I think those guys are like mainstays. When we go over to like the Mario Kart Double Dash roster, who do you think needs to come back from that that, and why is it Paratroopa? He's only been in one game, not even in Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah. It's just what a weird decision that was. Like, you could have put like a Goomba in as Koopa's partner, but no, just Koopa with wings.
Yeah.
Sure. I really like Petey Piranha and King Boo. Like, I think they're like great, unique choices that should just be in every game. Like, I love playing as them. And then the mainstays, Daisy, Waluigi, and like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, like, okay, that was fine when it was just the two of them. Like, you start to get more babies and then you're pushing it a little bit, but like, just those two was fine. Maybe like Baby Peach if we're like jumping ahead a little bit. But yeah, with Double Dash though, I forget what other characters there were.
I got the wiki pulled up here. So we got Diddy Kong, Birdo.
Yeah, both of those, I think, they're very popular. They should definitely be in. It's weird that they weren't in 8 from the start.
It's very strange. 8 has a lot of those weird things where they have like character advertisements. Like they had like in the base Wii U game, I think there was like a billboard advertisement for like a Birdo thing, or something, or like
that's true.
They were talking about like Birdo as like one of the playable characters in Mario Kart, but she was never in Mario Kart 8 until 2022 or 2023. Very strange.
I don't get that.
So pretty much, I would say everybody from Double Dash can make it in. I mean, like, we can argue the babies, but I mean, like, what would replace them? That's the question. Is there an original baby character in the Mario series that we could put in? I feel like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi are fine. They got their roots in Yoshi's Island in the story. I mean, like, you have the extra babies in like Yoshi's Island DS, but I'm not. Whatever. I mean, like, I don't think Baby Daisy has canonically been a part of the series outside of Mario Kart and like Mario Baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I would say pretty much everybody I think we can bring in outside of Paratroopa. Mm-hmm. But that does bring in. I mean, we could do the alternate costume picks. You know, like I feel like Paratroopa would be a perfect alternate costume for a Koopa Troopa. Mm-hmm. But, you know, let's also bring it back to Super Mario Kart, because Koopa Troopa was there. And then we also have Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah.
Who was brought back in Mario Kart Tour, and he's kind of cool in that. Do you think he would work as like a base roster pick? I feel like Donkey Kong Jr. may feel like more like at home as like a cool little DLC add-on or something. I don't know. What do you think about including Donkey Kong Jr. in a perfect Mario Kart roster?
I would definitely love seeing him again, like especially as a sprite like he was in Tour. Like a 3D model of Donkey Kong Jr. Like, I don't know if I want to see that, but yeah, the sprite version would be amazing, I think, to see. And yeah, as a DLC pick, that would be a great choice, I think.
I'm down to put him on here. But if we get over 50, I would understand if we have to maybe cut back and just let go of the Donkey Kong Jr. dream. But right now, I think I'd be down to kind of have him there as a cool little throwback, especially if this is like the perfect Mario Kart game. It's supposed to celebrate the entire series. I feel like, you know, you kind of have to have him here. So what I'm writing down here is generally the Mario Kart Double Dash. There's also Toadette in Double Dash. Do we want? I feel like Toadette has earned her spot.
Yeah,
especially considering like she's a pretty meaty part of the Mario series at this point. Like she seems to appear in like most mainline games, which is wild. And she made her first appearance via Mario Kart Double Dash. So I think that's fair. Now, when we go over to let's maybe talk about a bit of a funky game here. We got Mario Kart Arcade GP. That's what followed up Double Dash. Now, we can kind of go over the entire arcade series at this point and just talk. What do we want any characters that appeared in Arcade GP, which pretty much boils down to the Pac-Men. We got Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, and Blinky. Of all characters, Blinky. And then we also have the Tamagotchi character, Mamechi. And then there's also the Don-chan.
Oh yeah. I love Don-chan.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Was there any other like exclusive arcade characters? I think it's pretty much
it's all of them. Yeah.
Down to those. Yeah. So I feel like if you're gonna do any of them, especially in this day and age, I feel like Pac-Man is. I mean, especially if you're gonna do the crossover stuff, if you're gonna do like more leaning into kind of that Smash Kart idea, I feel like Pac-Man would feel the most at home. I love the fact that Blinky's there, and I think Don-chan is pretty fun. I feel like the Tamagotchi character may feel the most out of place out of all of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think about the arcade characters?
Nintendo would have to like acknowledge those games exist in a mainline Mario Kart, and they've never done that before. So it would be weird, but like as a dream roster where we can have like anyone we want, I think they would be very cool additions. Yeah, the Tamagotchi though, like I don't think that brand has been relevant for like 20 years or so I don't know.
Listen, I'd watch what you're saying there. My girlfriend has been collecting Tamagotchis like mad. There is a huge market for them, at least in Japan. I think the collector market is like starting to get a hold of them and just going like wild with them. But I do agree at the very least, like it's not it wasn't like the craze it was back in the day. But it may get back up there. But at the very least, like aesthetically, I feel like that character still feels kind of like a fish out of water in the Mario Kart series.
Yeah, so. I think so. But yeah, Pac-Man though I think would be a very cool addition. Miss Pac-Man would be cool. I wonder if we could do that as like an alternate costume, maybe. Like if two characters are like extremely similar in terms of their design, like maybe you could lump them in as an alternate costume. Yeah, Blinky. I think Blinky's voice clips in that game kind of annoy me, but that's like you can change those for a new version. So, yeah, Blinky might be fun.
It is the perfect Mario Kart. Yeah, Blinky. I mean, like, would you want to swap Blinky out for one of the other ghosts?
I don't know. Well, I mean, you can have them all if you want. Just like switch the color, and then there you go.
It's just
they're all in.
It's the most empty discussion possible to have.
Yeah.
It's just there's nothing to that one. It's just like, what ghost do you want other than Blinky?
I don't know.
I think Don-chan is a cute choice, but like if you're gonna have any of the Namco characters, I think you gotta have Pac-Man. I'll put Don-chan on there, but it's kind of in the Donkey Kong Jr. territory of like if we're getting to 50 and we gotta cut somebody, it might be in that list, but we'll keep them there. Next up, there was Mario Kart DS. I think the only like new characters that they added were Dry Bones, Rob, and Shy Guy. And Shy Guy barely even counts in that game. Yeah. So, Rob is a fun one. That's just a weird pick that makes absolutely no sense in Mario Kart DS.
I'm so baffled by that. Like, I never played DS growing up, so like finding out that Rob was a character, I was like, what? Why? Like, especially because this is before Brawl, so it's like, what was he doing there? Like, it's just some random NES accessory who wasn't even like in Smash yet.
I mean, like it's in the same era as Brawl, so there was kind of that weird like bringing back Rob moment for Nintendo. Very, very strange considering. Like I guess Rob's in that interesting kind of like purgatory of like this was before that they actually kind of just bit the bullet and did the full-on crossover characters like Link and Isabelle and Villager and all of that. So like he's kind of in that weird era where it's like, well, it's not really from a series, he's a toy, so it's like I don't know. I think every Mario Kart has at least that one weird ass character that they did, starting with like Mario Kart DS. So would we want Rob in the perfect game? I think I know the answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
I would love Rob.
I think we have to. I think we have to. I mean, like, it's surprising he wasn't brought back in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the booster course pass, because that's one of the only other like Nintendo crossover characters.
Yeah,
but it's whatever. That would save it for the perfect game.
The people are clamoring for his return.
Yeah. Now, what about Dry Bones and Shy Guy? Now, I think Dry Bones would have been a much better partner for Koopa Troopa and Double Dash.
Yeah, true.
I think Dry Bones has a huge underground fan base. Not underground, they're pretty vocal. I think it's everybody loves Dry Bones. He's the cooler Koopa Troopa.
I never like fully got why Dry Bones was so popular, and then I realized that like a lot of people grew up with Mario Kart DS, and he was one of only 12 characters in that game. So it's like, yeah, of course, a lot of people would like pick him and have him as their main. So Yeah, but yeah, I can get behind the Dry Bones hype. I really like him.
He's got that edge to him. It's like a, you know, it's like if you kind of like the Koopa Troopa, but you want a little bit more edge. I think Dry Bones works well for that. And I don't know, he's just a fun-looking character. It's weird, actually.
Yeah.
You got Dry Bones in Mario Kart DS, but no Koopa Troopa.
Yeah, that is weird. Didn't think about that.
Very odd, but it's whatever. I believe he wasn't in the base 8 roster. I think they added him with Deluxe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they had like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it was
Deluxe.
like Dry Bones, the Inklings, King Boo, and someone else. I don't know.
Bowser Jr.
Oh
which
yeah,
was
that was
another
weird that he
odd
wasn't-
omission.
Yeah, why wasn't
Yeah.
he in the original? That's so weird.
Because literally the only damn new characters they added in 8 were the Koopalings, and I think they just said, no, we're good. Like, that was pretty much it. We'll move on to Mario Kart Wii. The new characters introduced in Mario Kart Wii. We have Baby Peach and Baby Daisy, a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
I think that amount is fine. When you get to the Baby Rosalina shit,
Yeah.
that's when I get a little... It's just... It doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to my Mario Galaxy lore and the sort.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I think Baby Peach and Baby Daisy are kind of like an inevitability. It's something where you get, you know, you get... I think those are the only babies that you need. Though I would be down
Yeah.
to replace like Baby Daisy with maybe somebody else, or Baby... I don't know. You know, like if there's a
Yeah.
better baby option out there, I'd
Yeah.
like to hear it, but...
I don't know. I think one factor, though, with the Baby Daisy is that, like, you know, Mario Kart Wii fans are, like, very vocal about their roster being the best, and, like, I think, like, just having every Mario Kart Wii character in an ideal Mario Kart roster would, like, please a lot of those people. So, like, Baby Daisy is one of them, technically. And, like... You know, it's just like having an even number of babies too. Like, I guess it would be weird to just have like the 3 babies with Mario, Luigi, and Peach. So like,
Yeah.
having Baby Daisy there to balance it out, I think works. I don't know. I don't mind. I can accept her.
Maybe a new baby. What about like a baby Pauline or something, or like a baby something? I don't know. Maybe a
I
baby
mean-
Toad, a baby Toadette. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I mean, all of those make more sense than Baby Rosalina, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I think 4 is enough babies.
I'd be down to keep it at the Baby Peach, Baby Daisy area. You know, just the vicinity of Baby Peach, Baby Daisy. I think 4 is fine. You get
Yeah.
you get the gist, all of that. So there's Rosalina, which I think is
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
must. Obviously, she's proven her worth.
You know what? With Rosalina, I want them to bring back that little Luma that was like following her around only
Yeah.
on Wii. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
why they got rid of that. Like, I missed the Luma.
I'm writing that down. Rosalina with Luma only. Well, Rosalina
Yes.
only comes back if the Luma is
Yeah,
there.
there's no Luma. I don't want her.
Yeah. But then we also have Funky Kong and Dry Bowser and the Mii's. Now, Mii outfit A and B. Which one do you want back?
I mean, we could just have both. Like, there are Amiibo Mii costumes in Mario Kart 8, so
That
just
is true.
have the overalls back.
Yeah, that is true. Now, do you want the Mii's in the game? I forget where the Mii's ranked for you when you
Yeah.
ranked all the characters.
They were pretty high. Like, I like playing as Mii's, and I like I like the costumes they had in 8. I like I don't know, their voice clips are really funny to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I feel like it'd be weird to have a Mario Kart roster without Mii's now. Like, as long as the Mii's are still coming back on every Nintendo platform, which I hope they do. I mean, I love Mii's, but
I mean, the Mii's were awesome back when I was playing like Mario Kart Wii. It was like unlocking the Mii was like the coolest thing. I'm like, oh my god, I'm in the game now. This is amazing.
Yeah.
It would be pretty cool if they did that. If they kind of had like those Mii outfits lean more into like how Smash Brothers does it, where it's like, oh, this character may not be in there, but you get like a whatever, like a costume that looks just like them.
yeah, that'd be cool, yeah.
It's still a little strange because, like, you know, with Smash Brothers, they do that because, like, so then they don't have to design a whole fighter, a whole moveset. With Mario Kart, they just straight up don't want to put, like, they're just like, I mean, like, you got to model the costume at that point. You might as well finish the job and just
Yeah.
put the whole ass character in there. But, you know, it's whatever. We also have Funky Kong and Dry Bowser. Funky Kong is obviously a must.
Yes.
But what
we
about
can't lose him
Dry
again.
Bowser?
I mean, I really like Dry Bowser. I think he's a pretty unique clone. I like how his like magma shell like flares up when he does boosts. I think he's cool. I don't know if like, you know, other people don't like him because he's a clone, but I don't know. I think he's one of the best like clone characters the series has. Like I really I like him, and he is like an actual character from a Mario game. It's not like they just invented like Pink Gold Peach for a
yeah,
roster.
exactly. I think Dry Bowser. There's not a ton of characters that we've cut so far, which is pretty interesting. Now we go over to Mario Kart 7, and this is where it gets a little fun. So we have Metal Mario. Shy Guy has his own full playable character, but we also have Honey Queen, Wiggler, and Lakitu. So, what are we thinking here? I think Metal Mario is cool, like, as, like, if you have to have a clone, but it's hard for him to be, like, a costume because, you know, he's supposed to be heavier. So I don't really know if, like, costumes should really be, like, different weight classes. So it's kind of interesting. Who here do you think, do we want all of these characters? Or do we want only a couple?
Yeah, I mean, probably only a couple. Like Shy Guy, definitely. Like, Shy Guy's great. Everyone loves Shy Guy. I like Wiggler a lot. I think he's a very unique choice. I like the whole 4 arms, and, like, 2 of them are just, like, free, while the other 2 are driving. Like, that's pretty fun. I like Wiggler. I'm glad he's back. Metal Mario, it's like... See, I liked him a lot in 7. I thought he was a really cool addition. I like his voice clips, and I just thought he was, like, my favorite character to play as. But, yeah, then you go to 8, and he's, like, one of the most forgettable characters there for me. It's, like, I don't know. And then he also caused Pink Gold Peach to exist, so it's like, It's like, he's kind of on thin ice with me now, so I don't know. I'm very on the fence about, like, wanting him back or not.
It was cool to see him in 8 again, just because, like, 8 it was, like, a huge visual upgrade, so, like, oh, man, he's super shiny and super reflective, and I think they super leaned into, like, him being this bizarro Mario. I forget what his voice clips were like in Mario Kart 7, but it's just, he was like, oh, Mia Mama and
Mia
stuff,
Mama.
or, like, whatever.
It's the funniest thing.
I don't know. I think, obviously, he is the one out of this list to cut. I mean, Honey Queen is such a bizarre, funny guy.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but I kind of, like, love Honey Queen. Like, it's the most batshit insane choice you could have made. It's like, why? It's like, I never got that, like, she's gigantic in Mario Galaxy, and then now she's just tiny and in a cart. But, like, I don't know, I kind of love that. Like, she's a very unique choice. I really like playing as her. It's like, I don't want to cut her, even though, like, most people don't like her, I think. But I don't know, I kind of, like, want to keep her a little bit. She's very funny to me.
What would you prefer, keeping Honey Queen or Lakitu? So I think Lakitu is a cool idea, because it's like, oh, well, he's always been a part of the Mario Kart series, but now he's finally a racer. But at the end of the day, Lakitu feels so... Lakitu just feels like a variant of, like, a Koopa, you know, a Koopa Troopa. So it's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, Lakitu brings so much to this roster, where it's like it's cool from, like, the perspective of, like, man, he finally made it. Good for him. The underdog, he finally can race. But, like, when it comes to variety in the roster, he is pretty much a Koopa Troopa with goggles.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a bold claim and say that Lakitu is probably the most forgettable character in Mario Kart 8. Like, I never remember he's there. It's like, I see him in a race sometimes, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's in this game. Like,
I mean, he's a yellow guy with a shell. We got 1 billion of those in this game. So
exactly.
It's kinda...
Like, I really don't need him back. Like, I'm sorry.
There's a lot of yellow characters in Mario Kart 7, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're looking at this? You get Daisy, Koopa Troopa, Honey Queen, Wiggler, Lakitu. Man, there's a lot of, what is it, starch? There's a lot of starch on this roster. But yeah, I'd be down to keep Honey Queen. Lakitu's kind of in that Metal Mario camp for me, where it's kind of like, I'm not offended by this character. In fact, I kind of like this character in the Mario Kart 7 roster, but Mario Kart 7 does have, like, one of the weirder rosters.
Yeah.
And not for, like, the greatest reasons. I like the funny characters like Wiggler and Honey Queen, but when it comes to, like, representing Mario Kart or the Mario series, I think it's pretty weird. I'd be down to bring Wiggler and Honey Queen, but I do kind of want to get a little bold with this roster, so I'm down to cut Lakitu and Metal Mario. I lean more towards Lakitu because he is such a core part of the series, but again, you know, when it comes to variety, I don't know. Very similar to a Koopa.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, yeah.
We're moving over to Mario Kart 8, where the new characters that they added, I feel, are pretty, once again, very weak when it comes to the new additions. They put all of their money into the Koopalings.
They sure did.
I mean, it's a cool idea at the time. That was before we went into full-on, like, just kind of felt like it was Koopaling overload. Because I remember... They had like a trailer where they revealed the Koopalings, and I think it was really cool in that moment. But then when we got the game, it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of where all the resources went.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky because I like playing as a lot of them. Like, I love Roy, and I like Morton a lot. Ludwig's cool. Like, but then it's like 7 slots though, because you can't really have like just a couple of them. You kind of have to have all of them, or it doesn't really like make sense. So it's like, I don't know. I really don't think we need them back for an ideal, like, perfect Mario Kart roster. Like, I don't know if anyone will, like, miss them too much.
I think Bowser Jr. kind of encompasses that whole lineup, but I feel like, how about this? Would you be down for this idea? If it's literally, like, all of them in one cart. It's just all of them.
That could be pretty funny, actually.
Because that would also reference, they've also been in the clown car, the clown copter.
Yeah,
like, all together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, I'd be down where it's like, it's literally 7 characters just spilling out of one cart. Now, that would be a little tricky to do, but I feel like if you kind of keep them to be the size of like a PD Piranha, in terms of like kind of taking up that much screen real estate, I think that would work. I think that would work.
I can see that working. That would be a really fun choice, yeah.
I'll just write the Koopalings, and that's one character. Now, in terms of the other new characters in base Mario Kart 8, it's Baby Rosalina and Pinkle Peach. That's pretty rough.
I will not miss them when they're gone.
Yeah.
Please, let's get them out of there.
Yeah, I think Baby Rosalina is such a silly little pick. I don't know. We can do without those. So pretty much consolidate the Koopalings into one character. But then we go over to the DLC roster in Mario Kart 8, which has some good picks, some wacky little picks too. Got the clones pretty much with Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach. I'd be down for these to be included as like, you know, once again, like costumes. Because that's what they are. They are genuine just costumes. At least Metal Mario, you can make the argument like, oh, that's a different character. Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach are genuinely just, they're wearing different outfits. So I think, like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we brought it up yet, but Mario Kart Tour has, like, so many of these different variants of, like, characters just, like, wearing a different outfit. And it's, like, those would be really cool, I think, to have in a Mario Kart game, but, like, not taking up roster slots. Just, like, alternate, like, looks for the character you can pick. Like, and Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach definitely fall into that.
There's definitely some weird, like, consistency issues with like what do you make a costume and what do you make like its own slot, you know, like that's you see that in Smash Brothers too, with like okay what's considered an Echo Fighter, what's considered its own character, what belongs as an alternate costume, you know, like oh Alf is his own costume, is only a costume, but then you have like something like Daisy, which is very similar to Peach. That's considered an Echo Fighter, but not Dr. Mario. Yeah. Dr. Mario's not an Echo Fighter. Isabelle's not an Echo Fighter. A lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, it's weird, yeah.
But we also have the crossover characters. Link, Villager, Isabelle. I would be down to see them all back, especially if, you know, we lean even more into the crossover aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I like all of these. A lot of people seem to, like, hate them because they're not, like, Mario characters. So, like, I've seen a lot of, like, discussions on Reddit where people say like these are some of the worst inclusions, and I'm like, but it's Link. Like driving a go-kart, like it's fun. Like I don't know, like I think it's really cool to see like characters from different franchises, especially on like retro courses, like Link on like Coconut Mall. Like I never thought I would see that as a kid, and it's like I don't know, it's like neat. I like having these crossover characters in here. It makes the roster a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think the worry is that it's gonna get like oversaturated with them and turn into like Nintendo Kart or Smash Kart. And it's like I am in like the Mario Kart camp side of things. Like I would prefer if it stays Mario Kart, but like I think like having these crossover characters and adding like a few more wouldn't really hurt. Like I really like them.
Yeah, I agree. I think the idea of like the next Mario Kart being like Smash Kart, and it's like, oh man, we're gonna be hyping up who the next Nintendo character added is and who third. I don't really know if like that's a great like direction as like, oh well, that's the main identity of this next Mario Kart. I think eventually like leaning more and more into that, I think that's inevitable, especially because they did this with Mario Kart 8. But I think it's kind of weird as it's like, oh, that's the gimmick of the next one, mainly because like, but Mario Kart 8 did that. So it's not even like, oh, well, this is like a whole new world for Mario Kart to traverse. I'm like, no, you already did that with Mario Kart 8. So it's just like, oh, so just now you're doing it more. It's kind of like, you know, like I think it's kind of a weak gimmick. I think like just doing it and just kind of like leaning more into that with each entry. I think that's a natural way to go about things. But you know, making that the identity for Mario Kart going forward, I think just kind of like keeping it as like, I'd be down to keep doing it, but you know, just kind of, you know, trickle in more characters as time goes on, and I'm down. But yeah, now we move over to and also I want to make sure the villager, the male and female villager, I think we keep that to like a costume change. Like I forget if like that was the case in base game or if 8 Deluxe turned them into separate character slots.
I think it was 8 Deluxe that like put them in separate character slots just to like fill out like the roster, like how it looks on the select screen. So yeah, I mean, put them back in like one costume, I think.
Yeah,
makes more
sense.
Because
that's fine. But then we go over to what 8 Deluxe added, and oh my, they added Bowser Jr. back. I think pretty much it didn't really have any new characters outside of the Inklings, which, you know, Inklings, you know, I'm down for again. And the alts can be, you know, costume changes. Then we also have some character spillover from Mario Kart Tour. I think Kamek belongs on base roster. I think Kamek is the cooler Lakitu. There's more to Kamek. Absolutely. He has that whole costume and stuff, and you get that cool legacy aspect of it with him originally being meant for Mario Kart 64. So, yeah, I think he belongs in there. Then we also have Pauline. I think Pauline deserves a spot on the roster.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Then I think if we're not talking Mario Kart Tour, which we'll talk about Mario Kart Tour, oh, there's also Peachette.
I was waiting for you to bring her up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't stand Peachette. Like, that is actually my least favorite Mario Kart character.
Yikes.
Oh my god. So yeah, I don't think we need her at all. I think she was only really included because like they had time to do an extra like clone since we're, you know, only supposed to have 2 roster slots, but I feel like they wanted to add like, you know, all Diddy, Funky, and Pauline, like, because they're all fan favorites, and then like they said, well, we have extra time and we don't want to like have an odd number on the select screen, so Peachette, sure. So I think that's the only reason she's getting in, but I don't want her at all. Like, I don't like her.
I think I dislike Peachette less than you do, but I mean, because at the very least, it's a bit of a different look compared to like a pink gold Peach. I think there's at least a little, and technically speaking, Peachette is like in that weird purgatory of like, technically this is Toadette,
yeah,
but if this is like a different version of Toadette, it looks completely different from Toadette. So I think I don't need that shit on my roster, but I think at the very least I would argue for her in comparison to other characters. But roughly that brings us to like a general, like, you know, here are the characters we'd like to see brought back, and it's a good chunk of them, with a lot of like the general clones kind of, you know, off to the side. But I'm kind of looking at the Mario Kart Tour roster here, and there is an unbelievable amount of just random stuff here. I mean, you got the free running Koopa from Mario Odyssey on here. I think a lot of this would be awesome as alternate costumes. But in terms of their own unique characters, you know, we have Monty Mole, you know, we have Dixie Kong, which I think, you know, if you're gonna have, I think that kind of completes the Kong trifecta. I think
Yeah.
Dixie Kong would be a good extra addition here.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I would love Dixie Kong in the game.
Well, I mean, there's other Kongs too. You know, like so, like would you
True.
want to kind of delve into some weird ones, like the Fedora Kong that was cut from Donkey Kong Land? Do you know that one?
I actually haven't heard of that one. we could have Chained Kong, a prisoner of war.
Yeah, I do like Fedora Kong. I'll send him to you here. Let me see.
Okay, yeah.
So we could include that one. I do like
could be
him.
funny.
There's also Wrinkly Kong. There's all kinds of Kongs. There is King K. Rool. There's also
Yeah.
the Lord Frederick from Donkey Kong
Yeah.
Country Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
Some of the Snowmads from that game, that might be kind of fun, but I mean that's also kind of flooding the roster a bit. And
Yeah.
even though Donkey Kong is kind of a part of the same universe, I think the general Kongs, I think Donkey, Diddy, Dixie, and Funky, I think are kind of the mainstays. You know, you kind of need those guys.
Yeah, I think if you were to add anyone else from the Donkey Kong series, like King K. Rool, I think would be the obvious next step. But like, I don't know. Like, I think that might be a little too much like Donkey Kong representation. Like, just the 4 Kongs, I think is like perfectly fine. Maybe K. Rool though. I don't know. I love him. That would be a cool addition. But like, again, I don't know if that's like flooding the roster a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, like King K. Rool would be a very cool addition, but then again, he is an evil lizard, and we got a lot of kind of
Yeah.
negative reptiles in the game already. So you know, I like it would be cool. It would be a different kind of character, and it would be more Donkey Kong rep. But I think 4, especially when like it's a part of the same universe, but it's also like it's kind of its own thing kind of thing. So I think those are the 4 you need. Mario Kart Tour has a bunch of the other. Well, I mean, technically, we'd also potentially have Donkey Kong Jr. SNES version.
Oh yeah.
But that's not whatever. I think Mario Kart Tour has a bunch of characters, but a lot of them are kind of like, you know, you have King Babam.
I think he'd be cool though. Yeah.
Oh, I think King Babam. I mean, you got King Boo. Why not the other one? You know,
Yeah.
you need the other you need the other king. You need the other monarchy.
I just really like those like boss characters from 3D Mario games that get converted into like Mario Kart characters. Like Petey
Yeah.
Piranha being in everything is really cool to me. And like, I don't know, King Babam was like the first 3D Mario boss. I just think he would be a really neat addition to like fit in with the trinity of like him, King Boo, Petey Piranha.
Yeah, and there's not really any other characters like him on the roster in terms of just a giant bomb-shaped man. There's nothing else like that. So
Yeah, I like
I'd
his
be down.
Pringles ass mustache
Yeah.
that he has. Like,
I think he'd be good. Mario Kart Tour also had Nabbit, which I'd be down for Nabbit. I've liked Nabbit as a character in the spin-off games. I don't know if he's a little strange in Wonder, or just the fact that I wasn't expecting to see him in Wonder is the strange thing. I'm not sure.
yeah, I was really thrown off by that. I was like, what? Okay. Like, I like him, but like, I thought he was just a relic of like the new Super Mario Bros. Era. Like, I didn't think he would keep coming back.
To be fair, I think I was thinking, like, for some reason when I saw him in Wonder, the idea of like, oh well, that was kind of like a new Super Mario Brothers U thing, and he was kind of like, in quotes, integral to that story. And I'm also thinking like, what am I talking about there? Like, I don't know why I'm thinking this way. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, thinking about it, he's just a guy that runs around and steals items. So sure, he works in he can work in any Mario game.
And I mean, like, I think if he's gonna be in Wonder and like keep being playable in mainline Mario, like having him in Mario Kart is just like a no-brainer. Like, I think he'll be good. He's one of the only like purple characters on the roster. Like, I like purple, so sure, why not?
I do like Nabbit. He was in like a Mario Golf World Tour. He had a cool animation there where they kind of referenced like whatever, like him and like a side-scrolling New Super Mario Brothers U landscape when he would win there, which I do like.
That's cool, yeah.
But yeah, Mario Kart Tour mostly has these damn costumes, which are really cool, but it does make it hard to find like very unique characters. It's mostly down to like, I mean, there is Hammer Bro, which is cool, but like I think when you get to the point of like, you know, you have Koopa Troopa, Dry Bones, Kamek. I mean, I think Koopa Troopa kind of like is kind of like all you really need for like, oh, Bowser's lackeys or something, you know?
Yeah, I don't think Hammer Bros like necessary.
I'm trying to think before we start talking of potentially like new characters we'd want added. Is there anybody from Mario Kart Tour that you can think of that we haven't really added? I can also I'll send you the list I wrote so far.
Yeah, I think Poochie would be pretty cool. Like I like that addition.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty fun one.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a cool thing because it's like you have all the Donkey Kong characters, but then you also have like Yoshi is also kind of like a spin-off, and like Poochie is a cool way to bring in the Yoshi series much more, even after like the Yoshi's Island track and all of that. But that does kind of make me think of the other Mario spin-offs. You know, we have Wario, Luigi. I think a big one would be Egad from Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah,
that
Egad
feels
would be
like
an
it would have
amazing
been
choice.
would be perfect for Mario Kart.
I think he was like supposed to be in Mario Kart DS but got scrapped. So like this could be another Kamek situation where it's like finally giving him a chance after all these years. Like and he's just an iconic character. Like he keeps like, you know, he's still relevant because they keep making Luigi's Mansion games. So like I think that'll be a perfect addition.
I can't really think of many other characters I think from Luigi's Mansion that would be super. Oh, Gooigi. Do you want Gooigi?
Yeah, actually that'd be great. I don't know, would he be like a costume for Luigi or would he be like a clone, like with his own animations and everything?
Okay. If you're gonna have Gooigi, I think you have to have Metal Mario because Gooigi kind of feels like the perfect alternative to like that's Luigi's Metal Mario, where he can kind of.
That's true.
And he can also be light. You know, he can be a lightweight. But I don't know. I feel like if you're going to have Gooigi, you have to have Metal Mario again.
That's true, yeah.
I'll write it down as potentially like, you know, Metal Mario and Gooigi. I think you got to have, if you're going to have one, you got to have the other. Now, when it comes to like the other franchise, there's Wario. So like Wario has like some Wario Land stuff, WarioWare stuff. Nothing really. Now, I thought about it. Like, if there's a WarioWare track, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that would be.
I feel like WarioWare feels right for, like, character. Like, it would be cool to see, like, whatever, like, Ashley 9-Volt or anything like that. But, like, I feel like it's kind of weird to have them if, like, Wario isn't... Like, Wario doesn't really represent WarioWare in Mario Kart, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you could give him his, like, biker outfit as an alternate, maybe. Like, that could be cool.
Why haven't they done that already? Does he even have his biker outfit in Mario Kart Tour?
No,
he's a biker!
That's so weird. It seems like a no-brainer, but yeah. See, WarioWare, to me, like, feels a lot more disconnected from, like, the Mario universe than, like, Donkey Kong or Yoshi. Like, it really just feels like its own series that just happens to star Wario in it, because it's like there's not a whole lot of overlap, but like I think it would still be a cool crossover pick to have like on the same level as Funky Kong being added, like having like Ashley or 9-Volt or someone. Like I think that would be pretty cool though.
There is like a consistent character in like the Wario Land series. I played a bit of Wario Land, but like not enough to be like I know every single damn thing about Wario Land. But there is like Captain Syrup.
Oh yeah.
Like you could throw her in there. But I think that is kind of like really pulling though, like that's kind of like scraping there in terms of like so that I think a lot of people would be like, what? I think you kind of need like another Wario Land game or two until you introduce something like that. But are there any other like spin-off series that are connected to Mario? I mean, there is like, you know, Peach has her games, but like no real like major characters from those I think would make any sense.
See, I guess there's the RPGs, but like I don't know, those feel like their own like separate Mario universes almost, like like especially Paper Mario, like that's literally just like in a storybook and everything. So it's like I don't know about like adding those characters. Like it would be cool to see like Fawful or something, or like Paper Mario himself, or like one of the characters from there. But like I don't know. Like, it might be, I don't know, it might be a stretch.
I could picture Fawful pretty easily. I think Fawful would be, like, a very interesting addition. I think Paper Mario would be really cool just from, like, the aesthetic perspective. Like it's kind of like, oh, I want to pick this character just because he looks more unique. But on a cart, I think he would be... Like, you wouldn't really get the most out of him. It would it wouldn't even really look like him, because how much in the Paper Mario games do you really see Paper Mario from behind like that? And like that's how you'd mostly be seeing him outside of like the tricks and all of that. I think Paper Mario would be really cool, but I don't know if you'd really get the most out of him in
true.
Mario Kart. But I kind of want to look at like some of the some of the other spin-off games and potentially see like what would be a fun character, what has been included in the Mario spin-offs before. And I'm looking at Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. What about the Sprixie Princess from Mario 3D World?
That could be neat, yeah. Because I was thinking, like, a lot of the cool character additions are, like, for medium and, like, heavyweight classes. But, like, when it comes to lightweight classes, it's just, like, Toads, Koopas, and, like, babies. So it's, like, there's not a lot of variety in the small classes, I think. So, yeah, I think the Sprixie Princess could be pretty cool. Like, especially you could do, like, all 7 of them in one. Like, you could just have it alternate color schemes and everything.
Sprixie Princess from 3D World. What about Cappy from like Mario Odyssey in his like ghost form?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think you could probably do him.
Yeah, that would be a nice, easy, like lightweight character to add.
Now thinking back, there's like Galaxy 2, there's Lubba.
Oh yeah, Lubba. That could be interesting. I mean, he's never, like, come back in anything, I don't think. Well, I think he was in, like, Rosalina's animation when she gets a hole-in-one in, like, Mario Golf World Tour or something. But, like, yeah, but he would be cool. You know what? There's a specific Galaxy 2 character that's more obscure that, I don't know, this is just my pipe dream. I don't know, we don't have to put it on the list, but I really want to see the chimp from Galaxy 2
the monkey,
again. Yeah, the blue monkey with sunglasses. Like, he could add to the monkey variety because he's not a Kong.
I mean, like, this next game, we're going straight from, like, there's too many Koopalings, there's too many monkeys in the game, there's the chimp, there's Fedora Kong now.
Yeah,
I think
just my, like, pie in the sky dream. Like, one day I hope he comes back.
I think Lubba and the chimp would be our fun picks of the game. So I'll put those down for now. There's also Boom Boom. Boom Boom and Pom Pom.
They kind of fall in that, like, Koopaling category to me, where it's like, just evil turtles. Like, I think we have enough of those.
That's all they are, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Pom Pom at that point, because Pom Pom's at least, like, more interesting. But Boom Boom is very much, like, Boom Boom has that legacy, being in Mario 3 in the sort, but that's all he's got, He's just got big hands. That's all he is.
That's his whole character.
That's all it is.
I think in Super Mario Party, they, like, added Pom Pom as a character, but not Boom Boom. And I was okay with that. Like, I didn't miss Boom Boom at all.
I understand that. Yeah, I do. I forgot about that for a bit. Yeah. We got to look at that Super Mario Party roster. That probably has, because that has, like, half enemies and half good guys, which is cool.
Speaking of that, though, you know who was playable in Super Mario Party? A Goomba. I think it might be time to give Goomba his shot to race. Like, I'm
think
surprised it
he
hasn't happened.
Deserves it. There's multiple games in Super Mario Party where, like, theoretically you should be using your hands, and also like Goomba is in like Mario Baseball, where it's just like the bat is just floating there. So I think when it comes to the laws of physics, they don't apply to Goomba in the spin-offs. I think he deserves a spot in the Mario Kart roster. Now there is Chain Chomp. There's Chain Chomp and Spike. Now Spike had a bit of a resurgence or a bit of a popularity era in the franchise with like it was in Mario Party 10 and Mario Tennis and the sort. I think Spike is, if you're going to have another one of Bowser's lackeys, I think Spike might make sense. As in, like, he's interesting enough.
Yeah, he's more unique than, like, the evil turtle gang. Like, I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
Now, what about Chain Chomp, then? If we have King Bob-omb, we also have another circular villain.
I mean, I love Chain Chomp in, like, Mario Tennis Aces. Like, that's just a stupid inclusion that's just so fun to me. But, like, I don't know, because, like, Chain Chomps are a big part of, like, course design in Mario Kart. I mean, I guess Lakitu is a racer now, so it doesn't really matter. And so... I guess I could see Chain Chomp. I could just picture like him just taking up the entire cart and just having no arms to steer. Just that, I think that would be funny actually.
Now I'm kind of thinking, speaking of Mario Tennis, you have those weird little creeps from back in the RPG days, like Alex or something. Just these random human characters that were like Mario Tennis. What do you think about those guys being on the playable roster? That would be interesting. You can't deny that. You may disagree with them included, but they'd be interesting.
Those would be some of the biggest like deep cuts of all time. But yeah, I mean, it would definitely be interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I would ever like personally play as them because they're just kind of like regular humans and like
You do it
the
once.
sea of like
maybe
much cooler
every
characters.
now and then. Come
Yeah,
on.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, this could be cool. I don't know though.
Yeah, I won't put him there, but I was at least thinking when it came to Mario Tennis. But speaking of the RPGs, you know, we talked about Fawful, you know, from Mario and Luigi and the sort, and Paper Mario, but you know, we can go back to the original Mario RPG. What about like a Geno and a Mallow?
Yeah, maybe that would like satisfy people who want Geno and Smash. Like, okay, he's in Mario Kart. Like, that's kind of a victory. But yeah, no, they would definitely be cool additions, I think. They're very unique. They would be like very fun to play as. Like, yeah, I would definitely be down for like either of them or both of them.
I mean, like, who's talking about Mallow? Like, I always like, and this is somebody who's like played only a bit of Mario RPG, but like and nobody really ever talks about Mallow. It's always about Geno.
Yeah, I haven't played much of Mario RPG either, but yeah, I always feel bad for Mallow. It's like, what did Geno do that's like so much more special that gets him so much more talked about? Like, I don't know.
Of course, that's coming from people who haven't played much of it yet. But I'll put both of them down just because this is a perfect roster. So like, whatever, Geno and Mallow, sure. Let's just put them down and cut them later. So since Square Enix developed Mario RPG, they also developed stuff like Mario Hoops 3-on-3 and Mario Sports Mix, where you had Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest characters in there. Could we expect the same for Mario Kart? Put him in the Pac-Man lineup of things. I forget who specifically was in Hoops 3-on-3.
Yeah, I think it was like Black Mage and White Mage was in one of those games, and then like the Slime from Dragon Quest. The Slime would be pretty fitting, I think. Like that just kind of fits right in. Like Mario Kart is like this mascot racer. Like Slime would be perfect. Black Mage and White Mage would be cool too.
I think if any of them make sense, it would be the Slime, especially since that's from Dragon Quest, and you have like Fortune Street with Mario in there,
true.
so that would at least be some crossover there. But still, like I don't know. I think that's kind of low when it comes to necessary third-party characters. But I kind of want to talk about that for a bit. Maybe some third-party characters or other Nintendo characters, because we haven't really added many to the list here. So, like, who potentially would you like to see as, like, Nintendo or third-party, kind of in that Pac-Man, Don-Chan area?
I think my number one, like, Nintendo character to be added is Kirby. Like, I think it just makes sense. Like, come on. Like, how is he not in? Like, how have they not made, like, a course based on him? Like, I don't know. Like, he would be an amazing addition, I think. I would play as him all the time.
I think ever since the Rosalina Smash Brothers trailer, it's kind of been like a why hasn't this happened yet sort of thing. Now, what do you think about like a Captain Falcon, kind of as a way to be like, hey, you know, here's, you know, we already have F-Zero tracks in the game. We and like I feel like, you know, he fits that humanoid style that Link has. So like I think that would work. But what do you think about that? Do you think that's like a must in the game? Because I don't know if it's like a must, but it's like I think it would be cool. I wouldn't be against it.
I'm in the same boat. I think like it would definitely be very cool. I don't know if it's super necessary. Like, I think it's represented just fine by having the Blue Falcon and the race courses.
Yeah, because you already don't see Captain Falcon in game. You know, like you'll see like his player icon in like a GX or whatever, but like you don't see him in the car. So it's not like putting Captain Falcon in the game. It's like, wow, this finally feels like F-Zero. It's just like, you know, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But kind of going through like the Smash Brothers roster, you know, of like characters that might make sense, you know. I'm trying to think, you know, there's like, you know, like series like ARMS. There's series like, you know, you could have Mr. Game & Watch. Which again, I think that would be the Paper Mario problem of like, I don't know if you'd get the most out of his inclusion there. Or just like, imagine him from the back. I don't think you're seeing much.
I mean, as a massive Pikmin fan, like, I gotta vouch for Olimar. Like, I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. I think Olimar would be great. I think it would be really cool if behind you there's Pikmin and they are genuinely like following you, but because like Mario Kart is pretty fast, like they literally be like running their asses off. I would
That
love
would be
that.
so fun. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
So I'd be down for Almar and even like alternate costumes like in Smash Brothers where you have other captains as well. I think that'd be really cool. I'm trying to think of the other Nintendo franchise, because like a lot of these are like Nintendo in-house developed stuff. That's pretty much all that they included in the roster of Mario Kart 8. But when we look at like the costumes, we have Pac-Man, Mega Man, Sonic. Would we want anything like that? Would you want Sonic in Mario Kart?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that on like multiple occasions. Like I think that's like the most obvious third-party character to add. Like, literally Mario's rival in the 90s. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. And he has his own like racing series as well. So like he's been in karts before. So like I think it would be pretty cool. I don't know, because he does have his own racing series, so maybe like Sega wouldn't want to put him in Mario Kart. They would want to like keep him in their own racing series. So yeah, I don't know. But I think it would be a very cool addition though, and people would probably go nuts for him.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be really cool. Be something like if it happened, I'd be like, whoa, man, that's great. I mean, the fact that the costumes are in the game kind of makes it kind of like, okay, Pac-Man's been in Mario Kart before. He has a costume, and if we want him back, I feel like I do feel like the general list of like the big third party mascot characters in Smash. You have Pac-Man, Sonic, and Mega Man. I mean, like I think if you're gonna have Pac-Man, I think Sonic would make sense. Mega Man I would like, but like Mega Man is always kind of in that realm of like, I love the Mega Man series, but like. Like it feels like it's more of like a big popular series for like the core whatever, like retro fans. Where I feel like the general audience would kind of look at like Mega Man and Mario Kart and be like, what is this? Like, I'm not sure if he's as iconic as like sometimes like some people make him sound. I don't know, but he is in Smash Brothers, and that is kind of like, oh, icons of icons. So yeah, I don't know. I think if you're gonna pick anybody there, it would be like Pac-Man and Sonic, but I don't know. It's kind of weird to think. What about in terms of other third-party characters? The Rabbids, because we do have the crossover series.
They do have crossovers with Mario. Yeah, I guess. I mean, those are pretty good games, but it's also like, I don't know if I want like Rabbids on the roster. Like,
I think Rabbids and Mario crossover fine in that self-contained series, but I don't really think Rabbids makes sense being in a like Mario plus Rabbids is a Ubisoft thing. So it's kind of like Mario is coming over into a Ubisoft game for that. I don't really think Rabbids work coming into a Mario game as much.
Yeah.
Are there any other like major Nintendo characters? I gotta refresh my memory on the Smash Brothers roster.
There's like Samus, but like I really don't see her in Mario Kart. Like that just doesn't fit to me.
Yeah, imagine her doing like a trick or something, like whatever, like jumping up out of the thing. It doesn't really work as much.
Can't picture it. Yeah.
There's like Kid Icarus, Pit.
I mean, that'd be cool, but like, I don't know. It might be too obscure for a lot of people. Because like Smash Bros, you can go for like more obscure franchises. Because like people who are into Smash Bros know a lot more about like gaming history and the gaming landscape than like people who are into Mario Kart. A lot of those people are just like more casual gamers. So it's like, I think more recognizable characters make more sense for Mario Kart.
That does kind of bring up the possibility of Pokemon. If we have like a Pikachu, Now, I think licensing, I mean, to be fair, if they want to do it, they could do it. It's something where it's like Nintendo owns 1/3 of Pokemon. It's always kind of weird with licensing with them, where like Mario Maker on Wii U, you had Pikachu and like all the Pokemon from Smash Brothers, but they didn't have sound effects. So it's obvious like they're a little stingy with licensing. I think when you have Pikachu in the game, that's when you fully cross over to this is just Super Smash Kart kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's like when you get that Pikachu in the game, that's when it's like, oh, that's when we cross the line.
Yeah, that's not really a guest character at that point. That's just kind of like, making this into a big crossover that's not Mario focused. Like, yeah, I know what you mean.
I think when it comes to the Nintendo characters, I think, having, Link, Villager, Isabelle, Inkling, Kirby, which is, partially owned by, like, HAL Laboratory, but, like, Kirby is still, it's Nintendo, whatever. And then Olimar. Olimar's a big one. I'd be down to put Captain Falcon here, but, I don't know. I think, I just feel like he has more than enough in the game already. I think when you get over to, like, Captain Falcon's in the game now, I don't think it's as that big of a... I don't know. I think... Yeah. But if he's there, I would pick him a lot, He'd be a fun character. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I think we could put him on the list.
And I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Now, I think we have a pretty full list right now. I think, like, last calls for major random-ass Mario characters here. Like, who else do you think belongs in the game? And then we can kind of finalize our list from there.
You know what? There was one that I was thinking about a few days ago. Just a very random out there pick, because I love the out there picks in Mario Kart games. I like how they keep adding, like, bosses like King Babam, Petey Piranha, and, like, King Boo and that stuff. So, like, I think it would be pretty out there and funny to add Kukateel from Mario Odyssey. Just the giant bird boss from the Luncheon Kingdom. I don't know why.
That's his name?
Kukateel, yeah.
I didn't even know his name.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got that in my brain for some reason. Just like the chimp. It's like some random out there choice that I thought would be fun. Like no one would see coming.
That seems like a very much a Honey Queen tier pick here.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Let me see. How many do we have here? I will send you the full list that I got here. Okay, to be fair, we are one away from 60, and that's even including the chimp.
Yeah, I mean,
so I
think we can go for that. Yeah,
I think an even 60. I think an even 60 would be a perfect roster. So if we have one final pick that would be this dream inclusion. What do you think that would be?
I don't know. I mean, the chimp is like the extent of my dream inclusions. So like, I don't know who else.
An absolute dream.
Wait, do we have Fawful on the list?
Well, son of a bitch, we got the perfect Mario Kart roster now.
Yeah, nice.